Hello everyone, Debbie here. Welcome back to Barossa Valley Crafts. So today we're going to make something a little bit different. So instead of making a card, we're making a card holder. So many of us make cards for birthdays, anniversaries, weddings, anything. So this, I'm going to call mine a happy birthday book, but it can be an events book. So anything where you want to make a card for, you can store in this. So I've partially done it and I'm going to finish making it with you. But what it will be is, so closed, it'll be like this with whatever you want on the front. And then you can write, if you're doing it as a birthday book, you write the person's name next to the date of their birthday, make the card, sit it in the pocket, so when their birthday comes around, it's already made and ready to go. So I've done a page for each month. So we're just going to finish doing November and December, and then we'll assemble the book and I'll show you how it will all go together. So to start off with, this is fairly thick craft cardboard. So you do not have to do the same measurements I am, but the particular one I'm making is 11 inches or 28 centimetres by 8 1/4 inches or 21 centimetres. Now that will be for the cover and the back. So, because they're a little bit bigger than the pages themselves. So we're going to start by making the covers. So I've already done this one. So now we're going to make this one and I will show you how I have put them together. So to start off with, I have selected the papers that I want to use. Now the papers I've actually used for mine is this pad here. So I got this from Spotlight. So Spotlight is in Australia. So I've just used some sheets of paper out of this Galaxy paper pad to make mine. So to start off with, you're going to cut one piece that is 12 inches or 35 centimetres by 9 inches or 23 centimetres. So what I've done is I've put some double-sided adhesive around the edge. Now you don't have to do that, that's just a personal choice, but I've done it because I want to. Then we're going to put some glue onto the card. So actually no, I'm going to put it onto the paper, I think. So I'm going to just use this Couture Creations glue. It's got a bit of wiggle space and it's quite sticky. So I'm just going to cover my paper with this. Give it a good coating. And then we're going to stick our card inside that taped area. Just give it a good push and rub it on. And then I'm just going to trim off the corners a bit so that we can fold it to cover the board. Now what I'm doing here, obviously you will need to do 2 times. So one for the front and one for the back. Now I'm going to just push that over there like so and give it a good push, and we'll do the same to the other side. So just remove the backing paper. One of my students was talking about a way that we can store birthday cards. So we were just sort of talking and I came up with this one. So she's sort of showed me what she meant, but I've improvised with what she showed me and come up with this one. So the one she had, or was sort of talking about, was a lot smaller, and it would have been very hard to store multiple cards in it. Whereas this one, we should be able to store a few cards. Okay, and just fold over that last edge. So that gives us that. Now I'm just going to cover this in glue. So you can use double-sided tape if you prefer. It's just a personal preference. Okay, so I've already put some tape around the edges of this. I guess the reason I've done the tape is I know then it's going to be stuck down to the edge. I'll just move that out of the way. Oh, static. Yeah, because sometimes when you're gluing you might miss a bit and it won't be stuck right down to the edge. That's why I've used the tape just around the edges. So now we will place this one onto here. So this is going to cover, so it's just inside the edges of the other piece. So it covers up those folded over edges. Give it a good rub. And there's that part. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch some holes in it. So I'm just trying to work out which way it's going to go. So I'll turn that over that way. Okay, let me work out. Okay, so this is going to be the front page. Okay, so lining it up with the other one, I'm going to do some white dots through the holes I've already done, like so. Actually, I'm going to flip it over and do it on that side instead. So that way, that page is on the inside where the backing paper is. So I'll just draw my lines, draw my dots again. So I'll just do the dots. And then I've got a hole punch here. And I'm going to line up that hole with my dots and punch it out. So I'll do that to all four. Now, it's up to you how many punches you want. You can have as many or as little as you like. Okay, so we've got two more to punch. And this is a good one because it's quite thick, this card. So you need to make sure you've got a punch that's strong enough to do it. Okay, so now hopefully they will line up, and they do. So that's all good. So that's now ready. So now we're going to show you how to make the pages. So I've just used a fairly thick black cardstock, and this is slightly smaller than the cover pages. So this is 10 3/4 inches or 27.2 centimetres by 8 inches or 20.5 centimetres. And then the papers I have cut out, so this is just a tiny bit smaller than the black one. So this is 10.5 inches or 26.2 centimetres. And that was just over the 10.5 inches. And this one is 7 7/8 of an inch or 20 centimetres. So now I'm going to put my tape around the edge. I'll move it into shot, I suppose, so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm using the red tape because it's a really good strong tape, but you can use whatever you like. I mean, as I said, you don't have to use the tape if you choose not to. I'm just going to do that all the way around the edge. While I'm doing this, I'll just let you know that I have a couple of Facebook groups. One's called Cardmaking for Beginners and Beyond. The other is called Barossa Valley Crafts. I will add the links in the description. If you'd like to join, you're more than welcome. It's a question to answer to join, but easy done. And you can come and share your creations with like-minded people and help with hints, tips and ideas. So we've got about 54,000 members there at the moment and rising, so it's a good group. Right, that's on. So now I'm going to, actually I'll remove the backing tape first, only because I don't want to put my hand in the glue once I've put glue on it. Get the backing paper off would be good. Okay, and then I will add my glue. Okay, and then we're going to attach that to the black card. So it's just a little bit smaller than the cardstock. Give that a push. Oh, didn't cut that very straight there, but that'll get covered over in a minute. Okay, that's that. And then I have a piece of paper here that is 12 inches by a bit over 4 inches. So when I cut these, because it was cut from 12 by 12 sheet, this is the piece that was cut from the top of it. So don't throw it out because that's what I've used here. Then measuring up about 1/4 inch from the bottom. So if I use this ruler here, so I'm measuring about 1/4 inch from the bottom, and I'm going to fold my paper on that line and give it a burnish. So because I want a crisp fold there. And then using my card, I'm going to line that up with the bottom of my card. Actually, I'll flip it over and do this. So lining it up, and then again I'm going to use my ruler, only because the ruler helps to give a straight fold, and I want it to be just inside the edge of the card, and I'm going to fold that over like so, and then we're going to do the same on the other end. So just inside the edge of the card, and fold it. Then open the card out. And we're going to add some double-sided adhesive onto this. So this is a 1/4 inch one. Now again, you can glue if you prefer, but personally I much prefer the tape for this because I can make it a lot stronger, I think. So what I'm doing is placing my tape just under that fold line, so when it's stuck onto the card it should match up with the bottom of the card. Okay, so I'll just put that on, and then I'm going to use a wider tape here. I'll just find the start of it. Here we go. And again, I'm going to put it just under that fold line, like so, and trim that off, and do the same on the other end. So just under that fold line. Here we go. Trim that off. And then where the corner is on the paper, we're going to trim that away a bit so that we can fold it over. So we'll do that on each corner. And then you don't need to do this bit, but I am, only because when I put it down, I don't want the corner of this paper sticking out the top of the pocket. Then we're going to flip that over, remove the backing tape, and then fold that edge over, and do the same on the other end. Now you can, if you want to, trim off that little bit of excess paper. Again, you don't have to, that's only if you want to. And I probably should have done that before I folded it over. There we go. And then pulling off the backing tape from the sides. Oh, if I can get it. There we go. Got a little bit of excess there, so we'll just flip that back. And the other side. And then on the bottom of the card, so we're going to line this up with the bottom to the bottom of the card, and just inside each edge, and we'll just push that down into place, and then we'll just give that a burnish, make sure it's all stuck down nicely. There we go. So now that has made your pockets. Now I've already done the other side, so you do the same thing on each side. Then once you've done that, if you get your with your first one, using one of your covers, lining it up so it's sitting in about the centre of the card, and then mark your punch holes and cut them out. Now after you've done the first one, when you make the following cards, you then use a previous card to make your punch marks. So if we line them up, now the first two punch marks I can do, oops, get that other one out. So I'm just going to line it up with that previous hole and punch it. Get out the little bit of paper. And I can do the same with the next one. But now with this one, because it's too thick for my hole punch, I will then do what I did earlier and mark it. Oh, whoops. Mark a little dot there. Probably a bit heavy-handed there. And use my punch to then, let's get that previous one out. Line that dot up and punch it out. And then do the same on that one. Okay, I went a bit heavy-handed there with my white dot. So that means now they will all line up and be the same spaces. So that'll make it easy when it comes to putting it together. Then on the computer, these were done. So these are the date sheets, and this is where you will write the person's name next to the date that you want to give it. So now let me work out which one. So I've got October. So now we're going to put November here. So I'll just pop some glue on there. Now again, you can use double-sided tape if you prefer. And we'll put that on. And then we're going to flip it over and we'll add December on there. So all up, you're going to do the front and back covers and then 6 pages that are double-sided so that you have one for each month. So we'll pop that on there. Okay. So if we bring that in there, flip that over. So now that's given us January and February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November and December. Right, so I know I've got them all in the right order now. Then we'll bring in our front and back covers. And I have now got some split rings here. So I'm going to use these split rings to put it all together. So I'll just pop them there like so. Put that in. And there's the first one done. Now I'll just add the rest in as well. So I'll do the bottom one next. So there, and then all my pages. Now if you wanted to, instead of using the split rings, you could use ribbon. But if you're going to be using a ribbon, make sure you allow enough space to be able to flip the pages. Okay, we'll just, oh gee, these are tight rings. Okay, here we go. And we'll just do the other two. So they should just go through, in theory. Oh, maybe I've got them a bit out of line. Hang on. There's that one. Oh, new rings. They're very tight. And then the last one. There we go. It's good when they all go through, you know you've had them lined up properly. So there's the book ready to go. So I'm going to add this on the front of mine. So I've just die cut a happy birthday, and before I die cut it, I put double-sided adhesive. So I've used this cut and bond from Couture Creations, and I stuck it onto my card and then did the die cutting. So now I've made it into like a sticker. So I'm just going to remove the backing paper from the die cut and attach that to the front of my book. Obviously you can decorate them however you like. And there it is, all done. So if you're making one of these, allow probably 3 or 4 hours. But once you know what you're doing with the first couple of pages, you get quicker and it's easier to do as you go. So that's it. So all ready now for me to make cards and pop into the pockets with the names of the recipient. So hopefully now I won't forget anyone's birthday. Look, that's it. I hope you've enjoyed that. If you have, please do give me the thumbs up, and do feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channels and join my Facebook groups. And thank you for joining me, and we'll see you all again soon. Bye.